Guide, I've heard a lot about AI lately, like in video games and stuff. But what exactly is artificial intelligence? Is it just a fancy computer or something more?
That's a great question to start with. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is like giving computers the ability to do things that usually need human smarts. Things like understanding pictures, recognizing voices, or even playing games against us. It's not just crunching numbers like a basic calculator. It's designed to mimic how our brains think and decide.
Mimic our brains? That sounds cool, but isn't AI really just a regular computer doing super fast math? Why do people call it smart if it's all ones and zeros inside?
I get why you'd think that. Computers are built on math, after all. But calling it smart comes from how it handles tricky, real-world stuff that plain math can't touch easily. Imagine you're sorting a huge pile of toys by color. A regular program might follow strict rules. If red, put here. If blue, put there. But AI? It looks at tons of examples and figures out patterns on its own, like spotting that a slightly faded red is still red, even if the light's dim. It processes data way quicker than we can, automating boring or hard tasks so we don't have to.
Okay, so it learns patterns from examples? Like, if I show it a bunch of cat pictures, it could tell me if a new photo has a cat?
Exactly. That's one way it works. AI uses something called machine learning, where it gets fed data, like those cat photos, and adjusts itself to get better at spotting what's what. It's like training a puppy. Show it the same trick over and over with treats, and soon it knows what to do without you saying a word each time. No feelings involved, just clever code tweaking itself based on right and wrong answers from the data.
But computers don't have eyes or ears like us. How does it see or hear those patterns?
Good point. It's all through sensors and code. For seeing, a camera turns the world into pixels, numbers representing colors and shapes. AI algorithms then connect the dots, like piecing together a puzzle. Remember that time you built a Lego castle and figured out how the blocks fit without instructions? AI does something similar with data, building models that predict or decide. And for hearing, microphones catch sound waves as numbers, and AI breaks them into words or music notes.
So it's not truly thinking like me when I decide what game to play next.
Not quite. It's more like a really good mimic than a mind with thoughts or dreams. We humans have emotions and experiences that guide us, but AI sticks to what it's programmed for, processing huge amounts of info to automate tasks, like helping doctors spot diseases in X-rays faster than any person could alone. That's why it's artificial, smart in a machine way, not a human one. It frees us up for the creative stuff.
Automating tasks sounds helpful, like if AI could do my homework math problems. But does that mean it could replace teachers or something?
It might handle some math drills, sure, but it can't inspire you like a story, or explain why a poem makes you feel a certain way. AI shines at speed and repetition. Think of it sorting recyclables at a factory, or predicting traffic to get you home quicker. Yet it's us humans who tell it what to aim for. Without good instructions, it's just a powerful tool gathering dust.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like my bike. It's great for riding, but I have to pedal and steer.
Perfect analogy. AI is the bike, built to go fast and far, but you set the direction. It processes data so quickly because it doesn't get tired or distracted, unlike us after a long day of school. That's part of what makes it useful for big jobs, like searching the whole internet in seconds for homework help.
Whoa, the whole internet? That's why search engines feel so smart. They're using AI?
Spot on. Early computers just followed exact commands, but AI lets them guess what you mean, even if you type cat picture instead of cat picture. It learns from billions of searches to improve. Still, it's all about patterns in data, not real understanding.
Patterns again. So, if it's mimicking human thinking through data, does that mean it can get creative? Like drawing a new kind of animal?
It can generate ideas based on what it's seen, like mixing lion stripes with eagle wings from training examples. But true creativity? That's tougher. AI automates the how of tasks, but the why comes from people. For instance, artists use AI tools to sketch quickly, then add their own spark.
I like that. It seems like AI is a helper, not a replacement. But if it's so good at patterns and quick thinking, can machines really learn new things like kids do?
Absolutely. They can learn in their own way. It's one of the most exciting parts of AI. Think of it like you learning to ride a bike. At first, you wobble and fall a bunch, but with practice, you get the balance. AI learns through something called machine learning, where it's shown tons of examples or training data, and it tweaks its inner workings to get better at predicting or deciding things.
Training data? Like what, a big list of pictures or words?
Yep, exactly. A massive collection of info fed into the computer. For example, to teach AI to recognize dogs, programmers give it thousands of dog photos, labeled dog, along with cat photos labeled not dog. The AI starts guessing. Is this a dog? If it's wrong, its algorithm, a set of math rules, adjusts slightly, like turning a dial to fine-tune a radio station. Over millions of guesses, it improves, spotting floppy ears or wagging tails as patterns that scream dog.
So it's practicing over and over, just like me shooting hoops, until I make more baskets than misses.
That's a spot-on way to see it. You're building muscle memory from real tries. AI builds data memory from examples. No bike crashes for it, though. Just code running super fast on powerful computers. This happens in layers. Simple neural networks, inspired by our brain cells, connect and strengthen based on what works. Feed it good data, and it gets sharper. Like how you remember shortcuts in a video game after playing levels repeatedly.
Neural networks? Are those like fake brain cells?
Kind of, but simpler. Imagine a web of tiny switches that light up when patterns match. Each neuron in the network weighs inputs from the data, like deciding if a fruit is an apple by checking color, shape, and shine all at once. Early on, the weights are random, so guesses are wild. But as it trains, successes reinforce connections, and errors weaken them. It's all math under the hood, no real thoughts. But the result? AI that plays chess better than most grandmasters by learning from millions of past games.
Whoa! So it improves over time without anyone telling it every single move?
Right. Once trained, it applies what it's learned to new stuff. Remember that puppy analogy from before? After enough treats for sitting, the pup sits on command anywhere. AI is similar. Train it on recipes, and it might suggest tweaks to your cookie dough based on what bakes best in the examples. But here's the key. No feelings or fun in it for the machine. It's pure adjustment. If the data shows sunny days often follow warm winds, it'll predict weather that way. Over time, with more data, accuracy climbs, like you getting better at math after drilling problems nightly.
But computers don't have experiences, like falling off the bike and feeling scared. How is adjusting numbers really learning, not just memorizing?
Great catch. That's a big difference. It's not learning with emotions or stories like you do. It's statistical learning, spotting probabilities in data. Say you memorize your times tables by rote. That's close to basic AI. But advanced AI generalizes, like using bike riding practice to skate later. No scraped knees, though. If the training data lacks variety, say only photos of golden retrievers, it might call a fluffy cat a dog. Still, it learns by minimizing errors over iterations. getting reliable for tasks we've fed it well, like translating languages from billions of sentences.
Translating? So if I say hello in English, it could switch to Spanish from examples?
Precisely. Tools like Google Translate train on web pages in multiple languages, aligning words and grammar. The algorithm adjusts to patterns, like how bonjour follows greetings in French texts. It improves iteratively. Early versions were clunky, but now, pretty smooth. Anecdote time. I once used AI to help a friend learn guitar chords. It analyzed videos of strums, suggested finger placements, and even slowed tunes based on his progress data. Not a teacher with passion, but a patient coach that never tires.
That sounds useful for practice. So all this pattern adjusting lets AI handle new examples it hasn't seen exactly before?
Yes, that's the magic. It's not parrot-like repetition. Algorithms like decision trees or deep learning networks build flexible models. For instance, train on fruit images and it identifies a weird purple apple as still an apple by matching core traits. Over time, retraining with fresh data keeps it evolving. Much like school. You learn basics, then apply to projects. But without that emotional drive, it's all driven by goals we set, like accuracy scores.
I get it now. It's learning through trial and error in data, building skills like I do with games, but super speedy and without the oops moments feeling real. Makes me wonder, though.
Wonder what happens when those patterns don't cover everything.
Yeah, exactly! Like, if the patterns are from all the data it trained on, what if something totally new pops up that wasn't in there? Does the AI just freeze or something?
No freezing, but it can definitely stumble. And that's where those funny mistakes come from. Even the smartest AI isn't perfect because it's only as good as the info it's been given. Think about it like this. You're great at spotting birds in your backyard after watching them all summer. But if an exotic parrot from another country flies in, you might think it's a weird pigeon at first. AI's the same. Limited training data means it misses the nuances.
Limited data? So if they only showed it a few examples, it gets confused easily?
Spot on. For instance, to teach AI about traffic signs, developers might feed it photos from sunny city streets. It learns patterns like red octagons mean stop. But what if it's a rainy night in the countryside? The sign's faded or covered in mud. Suddenly, the AI might misread it as a yield because its data didn't include enough messy, real-world versions. That's why self-driving cars sometimes hesitate or err. They handle the usual fine, but edge cases trip them up. No data, no pattern to match.
Edge cases? Like rare stuff? Okay, that makes sense for new things, but I've seen AI in games that should know everything by now. Why isn't it always right if it's been practicing forever?
The should-be-perfect trap. It's a common one. AI improves with more practice, sure, but it never reaches flawless because the world's too messy and changing. Plus, biases sneak in from the examples. Imagine training an AI to guess if a kid's photo is a boy or girl based on old pictures where boys always wear blue trucks and girls pink dresses. It picks up that color pattern, not the actual person. Then a girl in a blue shirt? Boom, wrong guess. Those biases come from uneven data. Like if most training photos are of light-skinned faces, it struggles with darker ones. Real story, early facial recognition apps goofed on diverse groups because the data was mostly from one type of person.
Biases? That's like when a game favors one team because the levels were designed that way. So the AI learns the wrong shortcuts?
Exactly. It's picking up unfair shortcuts from skewed examples. Programmers try to fix it by adding balanced data, but it's tough. Data's collected from the real world, which isn't always fair. And unknowns, AI hates those. It thrives on probabilities. This looks 95% like a cat. But a cat in a superhero costume? Zero training for that. So it drops to 50-50, or worse, leading to hilarious fails, like tagging your dog's birthday hat photo as a raccoon. Remember those viral videos of AI art generators turning simple prompts into wild, wrong scenes? That's it, struggling with vague or novel inputs. No solid pattern to grab.
Yeah, like when I asked an app to draw a flying pizza, and it made a pizza with wings, but also feet. Super silly. So all mistakes boil down to bad or missing data, not the AI being dumb?
Right. Not dumb, just data dependent. It handles what it's seen tons of brilliantly, like recommending your favorite songs on Spotify by patterns in what others like you play. But feed it junky, biased, or incomplete info, and errors pop up. We fix it by retraining with better sets, testing rigorously, and adding human checks, like editors reviewing AI news summaries. Still, those slip-ups remind us AI is a tool, not a wizard. It pushes us to make data more inclusive, too.
Inclusive data. That sounds important. Like making sure everyone's in the picture. I guess that's why we can't trust AI 100% yet. But it's getting better.
You're catching on quick. Those limits keep things exciting. Humans step in to guide and correct, blending our smarts with AI's speed. Even with the goofs, though, imagine how it spices up our daily playtime.
Wait, like in toys or apps? How does something that messes up sometimes actually make fun stuff better? Wait, like in toys or apps? How does something that messes up sometimes actually make fun stuff better?
Oh, it does a ton to amp up the fun, even with its hiccups. Those just make the surprises more entertaining sometimes. Take your phone's voice assistant, like Siri or Alexa. That's AI at work, listening to your words through the microphone, breaking them into patterns it learned from millions of voice clips. You say, "Play my favorite song," and it recognizes your voice's unique rhythm and accent, pulling up tunes that match what you've liked before. No more scrolling forever. It's like having a DJ buddy who knows your vibe, without you explaining every time.
Voice stuff? Yeah, I use it on my tablet to set timers for games. But isn't that just pre-programmed responses, not real AI smarts?
It's way more flexible than fixed scripts. AI powers the understanding part. Early versions could only handle exact phrases, like turn on lights. But now, it guesses if you mumble turn lights on after a long day. Remember when you asked your device for pizza facts during dinner and it rattled off toppings history? That's machine learning personalizing on the fly, drawing from vast data to keep responses fresh. And for toys, think of those interactive robots like the ones that dance to your claps. Sensors catch the sound, AI matches it to patterns from training on kid noises, then mirrors back with lights or moves. It's not too advanced. It's baked into simple gadgets to make play feel alive.
Dancing robots? Cool. Like my remote control car that avoids walls on its own. Does AI help it not crash into my sister's dolls?
Exactly. In that car, tiny cameras feed images to an AI chip that learn from simulated crashes. Thousands of virtual runs where it tweaks paths to dodge obstacles. It's like you practicing a skateboard trick in your mind first, then nailing it without wiping out. Every time. Sure, it might bump a toy if the lighting's weird, tying back to those data limits we talked about. But mostly, it lets you focus on racing fun, not steering every inch. Apps take it further. Photo editors on your phone use AI to autofix blurry shots from your birthday party, sharpening faces by comparing to trained examples of clear smiles and colors.
Autofix? I tried that once and it made my goofy face look even funnier, like adding sparkles without me asking.
Sparkles and filters are AI's playful side. It analyzes pixels, those color dots, and applies learned enhancements, like brightening eyes based on patterns from pro photos. Objection noted. Yeah, it seems high-tech for a kid's app, but it's scaled down cleverly. The same tech in fancy studios runs on your device, because AI algorithms are efficient, crunching data in seconds. Personalization shines in games, too. Think apps that suggest levels based on how you play. If you love puzzles, it feeds you more after spotting your quick solves, keeping you hooked without boredom. Anecdote. My nephew's drawing app uses AI to guess what you're sketching. A half-done dragon becomes a full fiery one with colors you pick often. He giggles at the magic, but it's just pattern matching from kid art data.
So it's like the app knows me, without spying. That makes drawing less frustrating when I mess up lines.
Spot on. No creepy spying, just safe patterns from your actions and anonymized examples. Recommendations in streaming apps do the same. Netflix AI looks at what kids your age binge watch, like adventure shows, and queues up similar ones. It learned from viewer data, adjusting for tastes. Action over cartoons if that's your jam. Errors? Sometimes it pushes a dud episode, but you skip and it learns, getting sharper. Enhances photo editing too. Apps like those on Instagram use AI to suggest backgrounds, swapping your park pic to a beach by blending trained scenes seamlessly. It's empowering. You create pro-level stuff without lessons.
Beach swap? Whoa! I did that for a school project! Turned our backyard into space. Felt like I had superpowers.
You did. AI democratizes creativity, making tools accessible so kids like you experiment freely. Voice commands in smart toys. Like storybooks that change plots based on your choices, use similar tech. AI predicts fun paths from narrative data, ensuring the tale twists excitingly. Even with occasional glitches, like mishearing unicorn as uniform, it builds engagement. We humans design these to spark joy, blending AI's speed with our whimsy.
Yeah, those glitches are kind of funny. Like when the storybook made the knight wear a tutu. But overall, it makes everything more interactive and less boring.
Precisely. It's a sidekick boosting everyday adventures, from gaming wins to creative snaps. You've got the full picture now. AI's a clever helper in our world, learning patterns to automate the routine, so we dive into the fun parts. Keep exploring it. Who knows what cool inventions you'll dream up next?
I will! Thanks for explaining all that. It makes AI seem way less mysterious and more like an awesome tool we can use every day.